are not a kitten, you are not a hen, you are not a dog, you are not a cow, you are not a boat or a plane or a snort. You are a bird and you are my mother. The end. So whatever you do, people, do not, under any circumstance, Google the phrase mom chatbot. You're not going to be, because you may be like me and you may miss your mom and you kind of want to talk to something that sounds like your mom, and you may be tempted to look for that online and don't, okay? Because it's not mom that you remember well. It's I don't know what this is, but it all started because a good friend Jurgen from the CDI sent me a link to Microsoft Copilot AI. They have an Instagram page, and the use cases that they're showing on their Instagram page are kind of weird and unhinged, just like the rest of like OpenAI and Google and everything. But one of the commercials that they made actually kind of stood out, not because it was super cringe, but because it was a huge missed opportunity. And I think that if you're watching this video, you want some value, so here's some value, okay? Here's what not to do when creating an AI agent or when designing a conversation, okay? So here, let's watch the video and then analyze it real quick.
I'm going on a girls' trip to Maine. Did I make sure to pack everything?
Looks like you've covered the essentials for a fall trip in New England. Maybe consider a jacket or a coat in case it gets extra chilly.
Ugh, do I actually have to work out this weekend?
Well, if you enjoy turning into an icicle, then no coat required. But if you prefer not to freeze, I'd say it's a pretty solid idea.
Okay, so the use case here is ostensibly this young lady. She's going on a girls' trip with her friends to Maine. And she has some things laid out that she wants to pack, and then she's using the multimodal aspect of the Microsoft Copilot AI to take a picture of what she's laid out in her suitcase to ask, or her bag, and to ask the large language model, the Microsoft Copilot AI, to offer some suggestions on maybe what she forgot to pack. And I know you're thinking like, wow, that's actually a pretty cool use case, because we could all benefit from a large language model telling us to wear a coat. I mean, this is what the advice that the chatbot gave. And so what happened was that she took a picture of the clothes. Microsoft Copilot basically said in a very cool kind of like in a personality that there's definitely personality to the voice. You know, you're forgetting to pack a coat, and she's like, well, I don't want to pack a coat, Ma. And then Microsoft Copilot is playing the role of her mom and saying, well, if you don't want to become an icicle, you better take your coat. And then she's like, oh, okay, Mom, and then takes her coat. And I think this is a huge missed opportunity here for a number of reasons. First of all, this is a silly use case. Like, okay, you just check the weather. Just all this time it took you to take a picture of it, and just look at the weather forecast and see what, you know, it's Maine, it's October. I'm assuming you're going to need a jacket. Like you don't need the full power of AI to make that. But what am I talking about when I say missed opportunities here? So, okay, if the large language model had just stepped back and asked 2 simple or 3 simple questions like, what exactly are you planning, or who are you going with, or what type of experiences are you looking to have while you're in Maine? And if she had answered 1 or 2 questions like, it's a girls' trip, but we really enjoy reading Stephen King style books, or we really enjoy going to a lighthouse, or going to sites and whatever, touristy things, or we're just interested in hanging out and watching Netflix in our cabin. I don't know, there's a lot of different directions that this could have gone, and Microsoft Copilot is connected to the Bing search, so it could have easily offered suggestions on really cool things, suggestions for an itinerary maybe, or even suggestions for like out-of-the-way places or events that may be happening in Maine over the weekend, and it would have become a much more customized and much more enriching experience if she had gone to the girls' like retreat and said, hey, I have this amazing tip. We can go to the Stephen King Museum, and there's a special event. He's having a reading there. I don't know, something weird shit going on there. But this is actually valuable, and it's actually really, really helpful. And I think that the offering that we got here, take a coat, it's like, what's the point of that? And then the whole interaction, and if we play it again here, right, it has, I'll just play that,
Or a coat in case it gets extra chilly.
this part right here.
Ugh, do I actually have to work out this weekend?
Well, if you enjoy turning into an icicle, then
so this got me thinking, like, this is a shame, because what we're looking at here is this, she's having, she should just be calling her mom. Like, why don't you just call your mom and ask your mom what I need for that trip? Like, unless her mom's not there for some reason or another. Which got me thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool if we all could have, like, a mom chatbot? Like, if you're missing your mom, you haven't seen her, if she's passed away or whatever, you want to talk to your mom chatbot, or that feeling of, like, if you have questions, if you have young kids and you have questions, all this kind of stuff. It would be really cool to have a mom chatbot. So I'm like, well, I'm sure someone has come up with this idea for a mom chatbot. So I went online and mom chatbot, and I got this really cringy. So hence is why I say don't, But there is a case to be made here about a mom type of chatbot. Like, I know there was a thing on YouTube a while ago from a guy who was teaching young men how to shave and stuff like that. But, like, I think we could all use advice from our mom every once in a while. And Microsoft Copilot, what they did was they created this really kind of nice interaction between the young lady and this LLM, in which they were sort of role playing, like, the daughter and the mom. But yeah, to me that's a missed opportunity, because had the large language model, had Microsoft Copilot just asked a few basic qualifying questions, just like anyone would do, if she had gone to, in the old days, if she had gone to like a travel agency and been like, what should I do? What should I pack? What should I wear? They would have given her like a much more in-depth like ideas of what to do when you're in Maine. And in the past, what I normally do is I just make fun of the videos, and I did kind of make fun of this video as well. But I'm trying something new. I'm actually going to make suggestions on how they could have improved it, or so maybe that if they make another video like this one, they can, obviously, everyone's at Microsoft, I'm sure, is watching this video. Satya, if you're watching. So yeah, Microsoft Copilot AI, connect it to Bing and actually make the results a bit more valuable.